It's Monday morning. You're not rushing to a 9 to 5. Instead, you're sipping coffee while your rental properties are bringing in income, month after month. Sounds incredible, right? But here's the hard truth. Most people will never get there. Why? Because they're stuck in the mindset that buying real estate is too complicated, too risky. But not you. You're here because you want more. You want freedom. You want to build real wealth. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to buy your first rental property step by step. Whether you've never invested a dime or you're ready to level up, by the end of this video, you'll know the roadmap to financial independence through real estate. Stick with me because there's a game-changing tip at the end that could fast-track your journey. Let's get started. Step 1. Before you even think about buying that first property is setting realistic financial goals. I'm talking about real, actionable goals, not just, I want to get rich. You need to know how much cash flow you want, how much you're willing to invest up front, and how soon you want to see returns. Think of your financial goals like the blueprint for a house. Without a solid plan, you're just building on shaky ground. Decide, how much risk can you take? What's your timeline for your first purchase? And what's the long-term picture? Are you aiming to buy one property or build a portfolio? And if you think setting goals sounds boring, just imagine trying to retire without any savings. Spoiler, it's not a fun thought, is it? Once you have those goals locked in, it's time to get into the exciting part, finding the right property. But first, you need to understand how real estate can fit into your financial plan. Understanding cash flow and ROI, the power of real estate. Next up, let's talk about the numbers, because if the numbers don't work, neither does the investment. Buying a rental property isn't just about owning a house. It's about creating cash flow, the income you'll receive every month after covering all your expenses. Here's the trick. Cash flow is king, but so is your return on investment, ROI. Before you commit, you need to ensure your rental property is generating more income than it costs to own. This means factoring in mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, repairs, and vacancies. Aim for a positive cash flow and at least a 10% ROI. That's when your money starts working for you. Imagine this, every month an extra $500, $1,000 or more landing in your bank account. That's the power of real estate. But here's a common mistake most new investors make when calculating their ROI, and it's something that can sink your entire deal. Stick around, because I'll share that mistake soon. Choosing the right location, the key to success. Now that we've got the financials covered, it's time for the big question. Where do you buy? The location of your rental property will determine your success more than almost anything else. And no, I'm not talking about buying a mansion on the beach. You want to target areas that are growing. That means strong job markets, good schools, and low crime, but be careful. Avoid areas that are too flashy or too run down. You're looking for that sweet spot where demand is high, but prices are still reasonable. Would you rather buy a shiny new condo next to a highway or a modest home in a growing neighborhood? Spoiler, the highway's not your friend. With the right location picked, the next step is figuring out how to finance your dream investment. Financing your first property, smart money moves. Here's where most people hesitate. How do I afford this? And the good news is, you don't need to be a millionaire to get started. There are multiple ways to finance your first rental property, and one of the best options is a traditional mortgage. You can even look into FHA loans, which allow you to buy with as little as 3.5% down if you're house hacking, living in one unit while renting out the others. But here's a tip. Don't settle for the first financing option that comes your way. Shop around for the best interest rates, compare loan terms, and remember that every percentage point saved means thousands of dollars back in your pocket over time. Imagine being locked into a high-interest loan and losing thousands in profit just because you didn't take the time to find a better deal. Don't make that mistake. And here's the most common mistake new investors make when it comes to financing, one that could end up costing you everything. I'll share it with you later. Managing your property, passive income or nightmare. Now that you've bought the property, the next challenge is managing it. And here's where you have to make a choice. Manage it yourself or hire a property manager. Managing the property yourself can save you the 8 to 10% that property managers charge, but it's time-consuming and can be stressful, especially if you're not handy or live far away. Hiring a property manager, on the other hand, makes the process more passive, but you'll want to do your research. A bad property manager can cost you way more than you save. Do you really want to be the one answering a 3 a.m. call because of a leaky faucet? Didn't think so. Whether you choose to manage it yourself or hire help, there's still one critical piece left. How do you grow from one property to a portfolio? Scaling your investments, building true wealth. Buying your first rental property is just the beginning. If you want to achieve true financial freedom, you need to think bigger. How do you scale from one property to 2, 5, or even 10? It starts with a plan. Here's the strategy. Use the cash flow from your first property to save for your second. Over time, as property values rise and you pay down your mortgages, your equity increases. You can use that equity to reinvest in more properties, multiplying your income with each new addition to your portfolio. Think about it. By the time you've got 5 rental properties, each bringing in $1,000 a month, that's $5,000 in passive income, all while you sleep. But before you get too excited, there's one final thing you need to know to ensure your rental empire doesn't crumble. The final mistake to avoid: don't let fear stop you. Here's the final and most important piece of advice. Don't let fear stop you. The biggest mistake people make is not taking action. They overanalyze, get caught up in the what-ifs, and end up doing nothing. Don't let that be you. Yes, there's risk in real estate, just like with any investment. But with the right research, planning, and persistence, the rewards far outweigh the risks. You can't build wealth by sitting on the sidelines. Every day you wait is a day you could have started building your future. Imagine looking back in 10 years and realizing you could have been financially free by now if only you had taken that first step today. Now, so, are you ready? Now you know the steps, you know the risks, the rewards, and what it takes to build real wealth through real estate. The only thing left? Take action. Don't wait for the perfect time, because it doesn't exist. Start today, and your future self will thank you. Hit that subscribe button if you want more wealth building tips.